Let's be honest, English exams are the hardest to study for. In science and history, you have a textbook you can read and definitions you can memorize, and often multiple choice sections you have a chance of guessing correctly. In math, you can practice completing problems that you know will be in the exam, and in some cases even bring in a page of formula and equations. But English is a different beast altogether. As an English teacher, I see a lot of well-meaning students try valiantly to prepare for their exams, but struggle to make any headway. Sometimes they're using study strategies that work well for other subject areas, but not for English, and often they don't even know where to start. So here are 5 tips to help you prepare for your English exam. First and foremost, as with every subject, you need to find out what is actually being examined. Is it just the first semester's work or the entire year? How much time will you have? How is the exam organized? How many sections are there? Ask your teacher as many questions as you need so that you have a good idea of what to expect. Depending on your age, most English exams are made up of 3 parts. In upper school, it might be comprehending, responding, composing, and in middle school, probably a grammar language convention section, comprehending and composing. The comprehending and responding sections are similar, and no matter what your grade level, you will probably need to read an unseen text and answer questions about it. There might be a picture, a cartoon, a poem, an advert, or an extract from a narrative or persuasive text. It can even be a combination of 2 or 3 of these. Chances are that it'll be one of the texts you studied throughout the year. You will either have a handful of short answers or possibly space for a longer response. The composing section gives you a few questions to choose from, so pick whichever you feel you can answer best. In the grammar and language conventions section are usually questions that deal with misspelt words or missing punctuation, identify the noun kind of stuff. This section is usually not worth very many marks, and by upper secondary is dropped entirely as your understanding of correct grammar is evident in your writing. So find out what the exam looks like and what might be in it. Every teacher gives feedback, either verbally to the whole class or individually in red ink smeared across your paper. Some schools even have teachers type their comments on an online platform. Review these, learn from your mistakes and figure out what your weaknesses are and work on that. For example, if you got an A in creative writing but a D in poetry, then you obviously need to review poetic techniques and work on your reading comprehension. If your teacher keeps repeating, work on your sentence structure or increase your range of vocabulary in their feedback, then that is an area you need to work on. There are tons of resources available to help you with that. This isn't always a quick fix and probably something for next year's exam if you're dedicated on working on fixing your mistakes. But some things are, for example, there, and there. Once you begin reviewing the notes you've taken throughout the year, you've been taking notes, right? And revise what a simile is, you'll be tempted to type your notes. Don't type your notes. Write them by hand. Why? Several reasons, but I'll just give you 2. 1, retention of information, and 2, exams are written, not typed. While you can take more notes typing, research has shown that students who wrote their notes by hand remembered more information. Even though they wrote less, they remembered more. Paradoxical, right? I'll explain how this works in another video sometime. The second point is simple. You have to write your exams by hand. So practice writing out your answers by hand. Until examinations are submitted digitally, work on your handwriting. Your teacher might provide a practice exam or give you some practice questions. If they don't, ask them for one. And if you're sitting a big external exam, there are past papers available online that you can read through. Set a timer, sit down, and write the exam. You practice math questions for math exams, don't you? Practice writing an essay for the English exam. It'll help you figure out your strengths and weaknesses and how long it takes you to write how many words. I know that sounds lame and like hard work, but you don't go to take your driving test without practicing to drive first. Have a go. Lastly, for when you're actually sitting the exam, don't panic and answer the question. Ensure that what you're writing is on topic. Often students don't read the questions carefully enough and write about something else, or they miss the second part of the question and only partially answer it. Slow down and ensure you know what you're being asked and then write your response. And remember to leave time to edit your work. English isn't something you can cram for. Like getting that 3-point shot in basketball, you need to practice again and again throughout the year. All the best. Those are my 5 tips to help you prepare for your English exam. If you found this helpful, consider subscribing for additional videos which will help you to read and write better. Thanks for watching.